Player props here on PrizePicks for Thursday, April 24th, 3-game NBA playoff slate. Before we get started, you guys take a look in the description below. Hop into the Discord, $9.30 per month, 31 cents per day. Doing a promo right now, first-time members, 20% off your first month, comes out to like $6 the first full 30 days. Again, that's where I post all the plays I'm making on PrizePicks. Other cappers in there as well. Super positive community. Everyone in there just trying to help each other cash. So again, link in the description below, promo code TUFF for 20% off your first month. Also, follow me on Twitter at ToughPicks. Been posting daily plays of the day over on there with full write-ups. Been really trying to grow that Twitter account aggressively. So, again, follow me on Twitter at ToughPicks. It is a verified verified Twitter account. But we went 1-1 yesterday. We had Alperen Sengun 40 fantasy. He cashed pretty easily. And then Ty Jerome just did not play well at all. I think he had like one of his worst games of the season, honestly. I mean, the Cavaliers won, so I guess it doesn't really matter in the big picture, of trying to win a championship. But 1-1 yesterday, looking to bounce back today. Two player props, two buy lows, in my opinion. Let's not waste any time. Let's just get right into it. First play I'm looking at here is going to be OG Anunoby over a 32 fantasy score. I think this is, the line moved to 33.5 for game two. It was at, I believe it was at 32.5 for game one, 33.5 for game two. Now it's back at 32. Looking at this matchup, obviously, though, OG is going to play a ton of minutes for this Knicks team. I think he, probably projects to play the most minutes, 42 plus projected minutes over on RotoWire. In the two games of this series, he had 50.4 fantasy in game one and then 23 fantasy in game two. Just did not get going offensively. Had two steals, though, giving us obviously that defensive upside. So in game one, he had 7 stocks. In game two, he had 2 stocks, but 44 and 42 minutes. He's going to play 40 plus minutes in this one here on the road. I just don't see a scenario where that, he doesn't play that many minutes. And we look here at OG Anunoby's over on Outlier. Again, there's a link in the description below. You can get a 7-day free trial with Outlier. Awesome research betting tool that I do use every single day. But over his last 20 games, he's over this line in 16 of his last 20, averaging 39.7 fantasy points in 16 of his last 20 games. In 2024, he's over in 43 of 76, right? But it's really gotten going over really since the All-Star break. But let's just see in games when he plays, these massive types of minutes, which he's probably going to play at least like 38 minutes. 19 of 30, but 28 of 39 when he plays 37 plus minutes, averaging 36.5 fantasy points. Away, 13 of 20, 36 fantasy points, etc. So, the hit rate is decent, but specifically also against the Pistons. He's had some weird games, 15.1 fantasy here versus Detroit in November, and then 50.9 in game one, 50.4, sorry, in game one. And then was over 2 other times earlier this season, back in November and December, and then had that 23-point game here against the Knicks. But power forwards versus the Pistons have been kind of a system play all year. We look at power forwards fantasy score game log this season. Versus the Pistons, we saw Pete Nance, who is a G League player, obviously an NBA player, but he had 35.7 fantasy points against the Pistons. Giannis 73, Bobby Portis 33. Like, if you just go down the list and you look at the dates, power forwards have had massive games against the Pistons so far this season. And per 36 minutes again, over the last, 60 days away on the road, OG is averaging 39.4 fantasy points per 36, which again, he's going to see 36 minutes. So this is kind of an accurate reading. 1.1 fantasy points per minute. And again, this is a decent sample size of 458.6 minutes per game, or minutes total played in that, span of this last 60 days on the road. So it's a great spot for OG. I played this, I believe, in the Discord. I played it in game 2 and he just completely whiffed for us. And he still really, didn't have that bad of a game. 10-5, 2-2 is a pretty decent game, but, we obviously need more from OG. The Knicks need more from OG. I just think there's so much upside for him with those defensive stats in this one. So OG, 32 fantasy is the first play. Second one is, I don't know, I may get some flack for it. You guys can leave a comment below. Because, obviously this series, this matchup of the Grizzlies and Thunder is a tough one, right? It's obviously them getting blown out, but it's an 8.5 point spread in this one, 8.5. And game 2 was a lot better, but now Memphis is at home. 8.5 point spread is a lot better. I think in game 1 it was like 14.5. Then I think game 2 was like 11.5. So Jaren Jackson in that game 2 played a lot better. I think he ended up with 26 and 6, no assists, no steals, no blocks, which obviously for a player like him is not enough for what they need from him. They need some defensive stats from him. But just the hit rate on this line is too elite for me not to play this at 31.5. I think this line does bump. Per 36 minutes, right, this season at home with Jalen Wells off the floor, which he's out for the season. Jaren Jackson per 36 averaging 50.1 fantasy points. 50.1. 1.4 fantasy points per minute. It's an insane the discrepancy based on the analytics, or I guess I don't want to call it analytics, but the stats. He's averaging 29, 6, 2, 1 steal, 2.6 blocks per 36, 50.1. I mean, this season is on the line for Memphis. And for Jaren, I just can't see a scenario where, wait, did this line get bumped off? Oh, no. I can't see a scenario where he doesn't play 36 plus minutes and hammers this line. Like, if you look over on Outlier, the hit rate on this line is actually crazy. For Outlier, they don't have his PrizePicks fantasy score up right now, but underdog is obviously the same calculation, so he's listed at 31.15 on underdog. 21 of 22 games this season when he plays 30 plus minutes at home. 21 of 22. Let's just get rid of the filters, right? When he plays at home, 32 of 38, averaging 39.3 fantasy, right? If you just in general, when he plays 30 plus minutes this season, which he's going to play 38 of 45, averaging 41.5 fantasy. It's too low of a line. I mean, like I said, per 36, averaging 50 fantasy points. Both these players are going to play massive minutes, massive usage season. Very, very important games for both of them. Yeah, not overthinking this one. Please drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and as always, let's cash.